With over 1,000 hours inside of Ark, I have never ascended, only defeating the Broodmother on the island. This series that tells stories from my live streams will follow my progression, pressing on with Helena's tasks to reach the final Ark and begin the revival of Earth, before taking on the Genesis ships and simulations and defeating Rockwell once and for all. So, as we all do, I awoke on the beach, punching trees and collecting resources, but the cold was already seeping in and I began to freeze. Unluckily for them, I met some unfortunate dodos that I quickly took care of and used for hide to finish off some clothing and started to look rather dapper. However, this night would prove to me that this task would not be as easy as I'd hoped, as I was forced to cling to the fire or freeze to death, but in doing so, I cooked up some meat and was ready for the morning. Through the night, I crafted a foundation and some storage so I wasn't weighed down the whole time, and building out my foundation so I had more room to work with, and placing my new mortar and pestle. I prepared then for the horrors to come as I built up walls, arrows, bowlers, narcotics, a bow and a bed before smashing the river rocks to obtain some valuable metal. Now after all this, I was beginning to realise I had not yet tamed anything, so I crafted up a slingshot quickly in the hopes of securing a new friend on the Ark, before heading out, however, struggling to really find anything. Eventually though, I did come across this level 85 parasaur, so I bowled them and began to fire. Quickly, the slimy git ran off into the distance and I could not find them again. Heading back, I was attacked by a band of compies and a dilo, but after taking care of these, I noticed that we had a level 120 Dilophosaurus in front of us, so I claimed that baby for my own, as bait for the compies, before running back home and never seeing them again. I set up for the night again, breaking down more trees and crafting wooden foundations for our future base, built up a smithy and was finally able to craft myself some trank arrows. Finally, it was time to head out, much more confidently, strapped with my bowlers and crossbow, in the hopes of taming something to defend me and the base. It was then that out of the trees came a raptor, and after a short time, they were knocked out, but only level 5, so I knew this wasn't going to last long enough, and things were about to start going horribly wrong. Feeling rather confident, maybe a bit too much, I decided to take on this level 85 stego in the hopes of claiming its child as my own, firing my arrows until suddenly I fell short and was impaled by the beast. Coming back, I began to fire again until suddenly I was swarmed by Troodons, one of them being a level 120. So back again I went to retrieve my items, and once again, they ended me. I knew I had to prepare before heading back there, so I crafted up the raptor saddle in readiness, ran back up there, and once again, faced the stego. This time, I was victorious and collected my prize in the shape of its baby, before taking them home for a rest and preparing to head out for more tames. But when I headed out, a group of bugs attacked me, and before I was able to finish them off, my raptor passed out from exhaustion, so I had to take care of them. Once the raptor awoke, we chewed on the level 25 parasaur whilst claiming its child, which sadly didn't last long due to some hunger issues and me forgetting to feed it. Now, if there's something I know about the island, it's that equus can be hard to find, so when I saw one in front of me, I had to tame it. Only for then a group of stupid compies deciding to ruin it, scaring them away before a level 10 raptor attacked, which, me forgetting to put mine on passive, led to them being eaten and us still with very little companions. And then, Troodon food again. I'm really starting to hate these Troodons. It did seem, however, that the tables were turning, as there was a blue drop outside my base containing 80 crystal to help me build my first spyglass. On top of that, I crafted a smithy, metal pick, crossbow and hatchet, along with some more armor before heading out on a rescue mission. But death struck me once again by these flipping Troodons, and all I could do was wait inside near the fire as it began to freeze outside again. So I readied myself to retrieve my gear, and once I did, I was killed again. However, finally I managed to get back what was mine and led them down towards the sea, not before passing out in it though. Until finally climbing on top of a rock whilst taking care of these pesky little creatures that have caused me so much pain. With those out of the way and me trying to save my pal, he was finally beaten by more Troodons. But now another raptor appeared to take their shot, so as always, I tranked it out, and whilst heading back to my base to craft a new saddle, I spotted a level 50 Chalcotherium by my base. Why, Ark? Just why? But luckily for now, it was okay, and the stego was nearly fully grown, so I headed back, collected my new raptor, and got back to the base. Right as the Chally killed my stego, and not long after, the raptor also. That was it. I was back to nothing, so for one last time, I headed out in the hopes of finishing this session with something, and just like that, a level 40 raptor chased me. Sucks for him because against one raptor, I can deal with that, and he was knocked out with ease. Whilst waiting, a parasaur showed up with a child, and so as before, I took it on and claimed its children, and finally, I had some tames that may be safe at home. But when I got back, I remembered about the Chally, and I could not leave it there. So I tried to take it away, getting it to chase the raptor, until I knew that this had to end now. So we both started this bloody battle, and I thought for sure that this was the end for me, until the Chally fell, and somehow we were left standing. So with a smug grin on my face, we headed back home in the hopes that we were safe for now. And we were, but that is when I spotted a level 140 Iguanodon, and I knew I had to tame this for the survival of this cause. If we were going to take down the Arks and their guardians, then we were in desperate need of high levels. But with a quick bowler and a few arrows, this guy was already knocked out and began taming up. So as we waited at base, I spotted a Pteranodon, to which I decided to knock out also, as I'm sure that they may come in handy later. In the meantime, however, I gathered berries for food and materials to make sure that we were not going to run out, all whilst crafting an Iguanodon saddle, and soon enough, both were tamed up, and as night fell, I decided to call it a night. So if you'd like to see me record these videos live, then make sure to check out my streams right here most Wednesdays and Fridays, with some occasionally on the weekend. These videos as of now will be weekly, and don't forget to hit that like button if you want to help this channel grow. I really do appreciate it, and finally, be sure to subscribe as we're getting closer and closer to that 2K sub mark and beyond, and I will catch you all in the next one.